Hey, everybody. Here's a quick word about our sponsors. First one being LASRApp. You can find them at www.lasrapp.com. They're a laser activated shot reporter. They're amazing what it can do, all of the things that you can do with it, multiple guns, multiple locations, any type of target. They have a smorgasbord of items on their website store. Check them out. Use the affiliate link below or on our website, casualshooterpodcast.com, and use the code CSP 2021 for up to 15% off items not covered by the affiliate link. Next up, we have Gun Butter. I am one of those people that I clean my gun all the time because I feel like you've always got to clean the crud and put a fresh coat of lubrication on it. That's because of the stuff we had to use in the military. I didn't like it, but I have finally landed on something I can get behind, and that is gun butter. I did not shoot. I'm. I did not clean my gun at all at nationals. I did not clean it after the match before nationals, nor the match before that. And there's still gun butter oil on my gun, and I'm going to be using their grease on the lugs of my bolt gun. Next, we have HOIST. It is IV level hydration. It's clinically proven to absorb 110% faster than water. You've got all the right ingredients of your electrolytes that you need: magnesium, calcium, sodium, potassium. It's all in there. A little bit of sugar, but that mixes the right amount to make it absorb rapidly so it's not sitting in your belly and weighing you down. So check it out. Get hydrated, stay hydrated. And thanks for checking out our sponsors. It helps with the podcast. So I do want to talk about competitions with cash prizes.
Yeah.
I feel like with IPSC, they're growing, they're getting more popular. You just had Prairie Fire Rank,
Yep.
where Tim Yackley won 50K.
Yep.
Nils walked away with 20. Joe, shoot, I can't think of his last name
Joe
in Florida.
Farewell.
Joe Farewell, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. Walked away with 10.
It's huge
So
money. It's huge money.
huge money, huge money. Now you've got the Buckeye Blast, not nearly as much money.
Right.
Dragons Cup offers money.
So
These
they've
things are
done it every year there.
right, but they're still new.
Yes. This will be the third year.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's new. Prairie Fire, I know they were talking about $1 million this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen because of the acquisition of Front Sight. I'll know more because I've got an interview with Lanny coming up next week.
That'd be
Lanny
interesting.
Barnes. Yeah.
Uh, the current model we have in the shooting sports is not sustainable with that kind of money. So there's
Uh,
not multiple people putting that money in. It's usually coming from a single, very
source.
wealthy, like donor or owner of something. It's not like funded by X company is giving away this much money. So whenever they realize that it doesn't make sense or they change what they want to, how they want to advertise, it another company steps in and gives that same money. We don't have the system in place to do that. We don't have enough publicity or people interested in tuning in to make that value to the sponsors work.
Right. And I don't disagree. And not my concern is that their candle burns out quickly. Um, at
It's like
that
Three Gun
much money.
Nation. Towards the end, the companies were realizing it wasn't worth what they were having to spend on it, and there was other issues with how that went down, about how the network took it off. Uh, so, but the company, there's not enough companies come in and replace that money after, let's say, what Marlboro used, like Winston Cup, right? They used to
Yep.
sponsor it. Now
Correct.
it's who's the sponsor
Uh,
now?
shoot. I can't think of it, but you're right. It's not.
Whoever it is, they've had multiple sponsors since then, and I'm sure they're getting the value out of that because it's on TV everywhere. People are wearing the clothes. There's people seeking out that and they see the name. Same with like the F1 sponsors with Red Bull and all the other stuff.
Right. Yeah,
The
I'm trying to
eyeballs
pull
are
it up.
there. We don't have the eyeballs to get the money that those types of events are getting.
Right. I mean, NASCAR is on TV almost every weekend
Well, it's
from
probably
February
almost
to
every day. There's some NASCAR thing
right.
on TV every day, and people listen to it and watch it and tune into it. Until we do, like UFC is a good example, right? No one used to watch that. Now they have Reebok sponsoring it. Like Reebok is, or is it Reebok, something like that?
It was Reebok is one, but I'm trying to think of the other. They're not. It's not spandex, but it's that Under Armour. Under Armour is a
Oh
big
yeah,
one.
okay, yeah.
Reebok, yeah, Under Armour's a big one.
They're obviously seeing that the advertising they get from that is worth it for them to spend the money. But
Yes,
that
absolutely.
sport came from basically nothing and very little, and they had to change how they were doing it and how they were advertising and how are they putting it on TV and everything. It evolved over time.
It did.
If USPSA or action pistol shooting type sports don't, it will never get to that point.
Now, do you see a path to which that could happen?
I think the only pathway is getting rid of hit factor scoring because it's not fast enough.
Okay, what
Just
do you
think
mean
of
by
all the sports that are on TV right now. The score's instant. It's easy for the casual watcher to come in and know the scores. Baseball, they hit it out or they round home plate, that's a score. Golf, it's however many hits to hit in the hole. Basketball is shots in the basket. Football is in the end zone or through the field goal. Very
and
simple
people have to
scoring.
wait to see the score?
Yes. Racing, it's
Okay.
literally the person in first.
It literally is.
Yeah.
It's like
So
the
our
Olympics.
scoring is way too complicated. Steel challenge, there's multiple
Not
strings,
exciting
so
to watch.
you have to add it up. Like no one's gonna do that math in their head. Is there a path? Yeah, but it's not in the current hit factor scoring method or steel
Mm,
challenge. It's
okay.
probably some kind of time plus with reactive targets that people can say, oh, well, the clock ran 10 seconds, 10:05 for this guy, and he had all his hits, so his score is 10:05. This guy ran in 9:50, but he had a miss, so that's 10:50 because of the miss. Very simple, easy way to score.
Okay. Now, I did feel that like the Prairie Fire rank system is one that could possibly work because with the first two rounds it was bullseye, but you could easily put that up on a screen and know whether people were in
Yeah,
or out. You know what I
yep.
mean? And then rounds 3 and 4 were against different people.
It
So
was
you could,
essentially a race,
yeah,
right, between two people. Whoever shot all
yeah,
the steel down first, right, won.
yeah.
So there, it's a
And that's
mini
how you
race.
progressed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be easily put on TV. Yeah, knockdown steel's a way to do it too. The reset time in between is a little long, but
You get enough people, it can be
yeah,
quick. And you don't need to worry about repainting in between rounds because the still falls or doesn't.
yeah. Or you hear the hits on it, hit
Right.
indicator, something like that. So there's a path for it. I'm not. We definitely don't have the right leadership and staff at the organization. I'm not talking about the directors or president. We don't have the right staff to do that. And I don't even know if USPSA is the right people to do it. I think it'll take something else that like USPSA people, IDPA people, Bullseye people, like something that all the hobby organizations feed into to do it. Now,
Like a
could that new
governing
thing
body
take
almost?
over everything else? Yeah, it could, but it's a lot of work. It'd take a ton of money. And I think you probably have to get people that have experience with the doing that stuff for other types of sports or organizations. Cornhole is a good example. Like, how did they do it?
Yeah. What? They're
But that's
beanbags.
instant. You
People
know
are
the
throwing
score, right?
beanbags.
You know the score. It's not as instant as golf or basketball or any of that, but you can figure out the score pretty easily.
Well, when I watch it on ESPN, it's right there.
Yeah.
Every time they pick up the little beanbags, like, oh, now it's a 15-11.
Yep.
It's like, what? I mean, it's like curling. It's like, come on, that's not super exciting, but somehow it makes it onto TV.
Well, it's other winter sports that are going on at the time. There's not much else.
Maybe that's what we need to do, change the season. Now, but I could see, look, and I love the idea of Prairie Fire Rank.
I think it's cool
My,
too.
yeah, my concern is there are a lot of executives in that organization. I've gone through and looked at a lot of stuff. There's a lot of big name people, former generals, colonels, all kinds of stuff from all over.
Yeah, that could be
One
their
thing,
model, though. I'm sure their model is not just that competition. I'm sure it has to do with training at some point.
oh yeah, I'm sure too. But what I do like about that is maybe them working in coordination with some of these other organizations like USPSA, IDPA, and them. Now, maybe you have a different mindset out there that can work with these other organizations and help them get to that point.
Yeah,
That's where I see
yeah,
the benefit of like Prairie Fire.
yeah, I could see that. I think my other concern is when was that event?
It was in October.
How much media have you seen after it, after the initial week of posting from the people? Have you seen
I have not.
anything, any YouTube videos, any things that where they bought a spot on Outdoor Channel or anything like that?
I have not.
It's already past time when that stuff should have been out. It's already and like that stuff has to be like delivered within. I'm sure there's some set amount of time. Like the cornhole event is on a Saturday, and they put it. I think it's live sometimes, right?
Yes, it is live. Their
But
championships are live.
originally it wasn't, and there was some lag time in between. And then as it gets more popular, that lag time has to reduce.
Right. Yeah, and I forget who now it was I was talking to, but that was one of the things I brought up was I haven't seen any of the videos. Like Crystal was there interviewing
Yeah.
people behind the scenes. She said she spent all day. She
Yep.
never saw any of the competition because she was backstage interviewing people. I haven't seen any of that. Oh, it was Nils. That's when I was talking to him.
Yeah.
Because I asked him, I was like, you got interviewed, right? And he said, yeah. I'm like, I haven't seen any of that yet. And he hasn't either.
Right.
So, and I know they have a lot of footage. So there are some things that are concerning, but I still have hope that
Oh,
it,
I hope
you
so
know,
too. I hope they get it worked out. There's been events like this before though. NRA World Championship was like this where I think it was really popular for 2 years. They gave away like $50,000 to the winner of the overall event. And it was like a combination. You shot a F class event, you shot a USPSA, you shot a skeet, you shot a IDPA, you shot a 3 gun, a 2 gun, you shot a SAS
wow.
single action shooting society, like, and you shot a bullseye, you shot NRA Bianchi. And then it was like a total score. The winner got a lot of money. Like there's been these one-off events before. They come around for a couple years because they're solely financed by somebody, and then they don't get enough attention to make it worthwhile to have that financier continue to do it, or have a new one step in place and continue to give away that same money. So whoever
One,
figures out a way to get the attention and the eyeballs on it
the
to
marketing.
have year over year attention and the sponsors see it worth it, it's not gonna like succeed until then.
I do feel that the way social media has grown, that might be the way. But again, you need someone who can market it properly.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
tough because you're limited on where you can market it at. YouTube, all the social medias are cracking down even more so now than before. I don't think our sport could be put up there. We change mags at this point. It's totally against their rules. They have some
I
new
mean,
rule where you can't show inserting a magazine into a gun. So you wouldn't be able to show that on there if you
on
use YouTube.
which platform? Oh,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, you got Rumble. I mean, I'm not saying that it's great,
Yeah.
but there are alternates to just be building that base of people. But
The if I was approached to do it tomorrow, I would put an event together, put the video together, put a crew behind it that could get it up pretty quickly. I would have social media being blasted out as the event happens and leading up to it. So leading up to it, build a hype, and then like have the event happen, and then like rent a spot out on the outdoor channel. And you can basically buy that time from them because that's how most of the shows are put on there anyway. So you buy like an hour
right,
spot on that, and you play it over. You buy like a 30-minute spot, and over a 4-week period, you have each kind of section narrowed down. You have to highlight people like how UFC. You can point back to a specific time when they became popular. In my opinion, and what I've seen is when they highlighted Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell, that's when UFC changed from being unknown to known. Now, Tito and Chuck became more popular than UFC for a certain amount of time,
right.
but UFC overall became more popular at the end, and it is now bigger than any one individual. And you would have to have a couple of those individuals that you promote out that become bigger than what the event is or the organization until a certain amount of time where new people come in, you bring those like personalities. You all might need a like a World Wrestling Federation person to come in and like script it almost and have
Mm,
like a good guy, a bad guy, kind of like Top Shot did. Like there's a way to do this. It would take a lot of planning. You can't just do one event. It's going to take multiple over more than one time period.
yeah, I mean, the UFC they really blew up when they did the Ultimate Fighter. So, and they did have all the drama in the house.
Yep.
So you had all that, and then that really, and then you had the Stephen Bonner fight. Why am I not thinking the other guy's name?
Forrest.
Yeah, Forrest Griffin.
Yeah.
That fight
From the
really
first season,
was the
right?
turning point. Yep, from season one, they could not literally the WWE could not have scripted that better than how that fight ended up because Stephen Bonner just passed away recently, and all the chatter was it was literally that fight that really put the UFC on a different trajectory when people saw that. So and it's grown over time. I mean, that's why the ESPN got so involved in it.
Yeah.
So I agree. Now there is a company out there that video production wise can do it very well and do it quickly, and that's Josh Fralick. I mean, I thought he
Yeah.
put out some really high quality stuff at Optics Nationals.
So yeah, he did, and he only focused on the people. He didn't focus on the shooting event portion
Nope.
of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was pretty cool.
It was awesome. It was good. It was like you could
Yeah.
actually see what is happening in real time.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. And I thought for as quickly as he was putting that stuff out, I was like, wow, that is really well done.
It's amazing what you get when you hire a professional service to do it, not the. It's amazing what you get when you hire professionals to do it, not people that are doing it as a ancillary job to their current position.
Oh, yeah, I get that. And I don't think that's any slight towards anybody. I mean, that's, a professional is always going to do the better job.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So it's hard to beat them. Well, I was going to bring up PCSL, but we're already 2 hours and 13 minutes into this thing.
Yeah, there'll be some time cut out in there. PCSL is interesting. It's kind of like the only alternative right now to USPSA. They don't have any funding mechanism to grow that at any point, except for big matches they host. So I don't know
Right.
how sustainable it is in the long run.
Yeah, and I don't know what Max is trying to do with it.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know
think
if
he's
he's
trying
trying
to
to.
be a USPSA or
I don't think
IDPA at
he
this
is
point.
either. No, but I've seen like here, one of the matches here just held one, and I
Yeah.
know they're starting to show up in different places. So it's just getting popular in general.
Yeah. There's one range around here that's hosting them.
Okay.
I haven't attended yet. I think the rules are interesting. I
Yeah,
think
the
it's
one.
neat. I don't think it'll replace USPSA in a while, but which I don't
No,
think
but
it
I mean,
was meant to.
could it replace, two gun or something like that? Who knows? But
Could it be the two gun, what USPSA is to two gun? Yes, it could be.
I know, like the match that I saw here, that I saw everybody's videos from, the range didn't allow 5.56, so it was all PCC and pistol. But
Yeah, still
yeah,
cool,
I mean,
still fun. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah, and you can still stretch that out. I mean, if you wanted.
100 yards
So
easily. If
yep.
you ask a USPSA shooter, like, should they try to shoot what the gun's capable of to test it, and you'll get a overwhelming response of no. They want to shoot those PCCs at the handgun stages. They do not want to test the ability of those guns.
Well,
Except for
that's
I've asked
that's
people,
baffling.
I've posted about it. I get feedback. People always say that they do not want to shoot a PCC only match that would test the equipment and the shooter for the ideal platform that it's on. They want to test it on handgun stages.
Well, that's not, well, you're taking out the only test there is the person. I mean, because that's not testing the equipment. You know what I mean?
Not at all, no. It's not
So
testing the person with the equipment though either.
no, but I mean, the people who aren't serious about it, it might be, but the people who are, that's not a test. You're right. I would, like you. I would, or I'm assuming like you. I definitely want to see a PCC only where not only are you testing the person, but now you're testing the equipment and the person
Yeah.
together
You
as
should
a
be
whole.
able to shoot an offhand shot on a 50 plus yard target with
Oh
those no
yeah,
problem. Those tests should be in the
yeah.
matches if I was going to shoot it. But asking the current people that shoot it, they don't want that. So it doesn't really make sense to add it.
I would, here you go. Now we'll see what kind of feedback we get. I would say 75 yards and beyond tuxedo targets. Not necessarily freehand, but out of a port. So if you want to rest it, that's fine. But
Oh, that's
I
tough.
want to see some challenging stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a penalty. It's just either a hit or not. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I wasn't thinking that hard, but yeah.
Well, I'm a rifle guy, so I that
Okay.
would be fun to me, and it can handle it, so it can do it.
The guns can shoot up to 200 accurately on a USPSA target. No
Yeah,
problem.
it might get a little tricky
Putting
if you're in like St. George and the wind is,
Yeah, well, yeah.
at 100 yards, but that's okay.
The guns
Figure it
could
out.
do that if they wanted to test the shooter's ability to shoot those shots. It's not outside the like mechanical accuracy of the guns. That'd be like
Absolutely not.
asking a pistol shooter to shoot 50 yards. The guns are
Yeah,
mechanically capable of doing that. Now, can the shooter do that with those guns?
it shouldn't be hard. I mean, look,
I mean, those are pretty tough shots.
on an open target,
Yeah, for the bulk majority of people, yeah, that's really tough.
I would have not thought that, but okay. I mean, if you're B class and above, how hard is it to just hit a C because here's why.
You have the
Like
time factor involved too, though.
you have what?
You have the time to do it also involved. You don't have unlimited time.
No, you don't. But I mean, if you're only talking, I mean, if you're talking an entire stage of 50 yards, but I mean, if you only have one, maybe two targets that are open at, like 2 years ago, 2020, stage 19 at Frostproof had that 42-yard target all the way down
Oh yeah.
in the left
Yeah, I thought
corner.
that was fine.
Yeah. But when we shot it, it was raining.
Bags.
It was hard to see. It was bagged and it's raining. So it's like, I had to sit there and think going, okay, where exactly am I going to, like where do I think the top of the A is? I zero my gun at 15 yards. And when I did the calculations, I am 0.6 inches low at 50 yards. That's why I do it at 15 yards. So literally, I should be able to just aim for the A, the
Yeah.
perforated A, wherever that would be, and still hit an A.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it shouldn't be hard. I'm not saying you're going to get an alpha every
That's
time, but
that's that's probably the limit on what should be tested with handguns, honestly.
I don't know why you'd need to go farther, but 50 yards to me an in. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been at I've done other training in the past, well before USPSA, where 50-yard target wasn't unheard of. I mean, if you have one or two at nationals like that, shouldn't be that hard.
No. I think it's fine, one or two, but there's a point where now, do people want to shoot stuff at that distance? That's what I'm kind of saying with PCC. The guns are
Mm,
capable to 200 yards. Like, do people want to do it? No. They want to shoot stuff at 7 yards and shoot it as fast as they can because it's fun.
right. Oh, and I get that. I mean, I get the fun part, but I don't think 100 yards and in is asking much at a major match. I'm not saying you have to go beyond 100 if you're capable, but I think a good 75-yard shot
I think
is
you'd
good.
get the same number of people complain about that 100-yard shot with PCC if you did a 50-yard shot with a handgun.
You're probably right.
So people would complain, say it's too much or too hard, but it's not. I don't know. I guess it just depends.
Right. I think it all goes back to it's kind of like the mover slash swinger
Yeah.
with the no shoot.
Yep.
That to me is a little overboard,
Yes.
but a mover and a swinger, that's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
challenging for sure. A 50-yard shot would be challenging under time,
Yes.
but if it's an open target, now if you're shooting pistol and you're asking me to do a tuxedo target,
No, that's silly.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, but 75 yards with a PCC through a port where you can put the gun down, that's not that hard because now you're bracing it. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
that's just
true.
me. I think there's some limits in there, but
Sure. Of course.
definitely got it. And I definitely think the nationals should be built around the people who are there to win the thing and not everybody else. I'm not going to go to Carry Optics Nationals in June and threaten JJ or Nils or Mason or anybody else. So, or Isaac,
Yeah.
so build it around those top 30, 40 shooters and the rest of us will shoot what they're shooting.
Yeah. I think that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair. You'd see a greater gap between. I think that would spread people out further.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. So do I. They. I don't think you'll see that with the current staff we have.
I'm wondering, even if, let's say, the landscape of the BOD changes in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't know that I feel that that's even something that would be considered then. You know what I mean?
What do you
I
mean?
could be wrong. Well, I mean, I don't see like building nationals around those top 30 to 40 shooters still being a thing per se.
It's not now. It's not now though. I think it would take more changes than that to change that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So, but I personally, I think that would be a good thing. I'd like to see those top 20, really let's
I
test them.
think you
Let's see
I
what
think
goes
you
well.
would I think you would see a change in the order of those top 20 pretty dramatically.
Okay.
There's some people, well, I would like to see that. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think there's people in that top 20 that are probably better at the current way USPSA is set up than the other way.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I know exactly what you're saying. Couldn't agree with you more. I think you would open up some weaknesses that people would be like,
Yep.
oh, I have got to go train on this, or I'm now going to not be on the super squad next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. But at the same time, I mean, if you want to be that guy, then you should be the most well-rounded person. You don't,
Yeah.
and again, you don't have to be number one in everything. You know, it's like a decathlon. You know, you
True.
just have to be a solid performer across everything. So
Yep.
you get better shooters that way.
I actually think the number one person wouldn't change it all, but the people behind that would. Honestly.
Okay. That guy, yeah, I mean,
Nils is great. Nils is well, I don't know. That's interesting. Eric's still around, I guess. So
yeah. Yeah, I think he's forever going to be the GOAT.
yeah.
But in American shooting,
Yeah, US shooter.
is
Yeah,
it
he's number one by far.
even over Rob Latham?
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Over time, I mean, Nils has got probably 20, 30 more years to catch Rob.
You think so at 33?
He's got at least 10 more years.
Oh,
Probably
yeah,
more.
definitely 10.
Yeah, he's probably got 20.
But for argument's sake, let's say we do a drastic realignment like we were talking earlier. Now that could change things.
On divisions?
Uh-huh.
I don't, honestly.
Well, are you going to have like a limited 10 anymore where people, like we talked about, where people can collect certain
No.
trophies or titles? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, if you
consolidate nationals,
yes,
now you don't have
you wouldn't have
as
as
many
many opportunities. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. With all of that combined, it'd be hard to. He's more.
It would
than
be hard to
halfway
catch
there,
the
but
number,
still.
right? The number of national
Yes.
titles. Yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah, it would be. But he'd still be right there in that conversation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, it was interesting talking to him when he went to talking to him after the world shoot and how he hadn't picked up that gun that he shot in forever, you know, and he didn't want to shoot that world shoot, but that's what he qualified with, so that's what he was there for.
Yeah, that whole thing was weird because people qualified with one gun and never picked that gun up after that or switched to 3 different divisions throughout that time and picked a different division than they qualified with. It was, you'll probably never see anything like that again.
Well, good.
Yeah,
hopefully we never see a 2-year delay like that ever again.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, that was hard on everybody. Well, Matt, that's what I've got.
All right.
I feel like we've covered everything. Was there any last thoughts?
No, I think it'll be interesting to see what the board does after that. So, in the minutes.
I agree. And I was just checking. It's still not up. So we'll have to just keep an eye on it and see what comes down.
Yeah. Yeah. Refrain from saying anything else on that.
Okay. I like that for your sake.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Matt. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thank you.
Until next time.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah.